Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be visualizing the data I cleaned, the FDA data that I cleaned using Power BI. So to start, I'm going to come to the Power BI desktop app. You can see it here. I double click on it. Okay, so we are now at the background of the Power Desk. So and in getting started, I have to get the data. I'll click here to get the data. Then I'll come to CSV text/CSV. So we have to get the data source. The data source is the data set which we are going to be visualizing. Okay, so pick this particular data set, and then we click on it. Okay, so here is the data set. Let's see. So we have quite a record here. Okay, so you can see that there are some null values. Here is a null value. So I am not going to load the data immediately. Now when you load the data immediately, that means you confirm that there is nothing left you want to do in this data set. That is, there is no major change you want to make in the data set, and then you load it directly. But because I want to make some changes, I will have to transform the data. I will click here and it will take me to the Power Query editor. Okay, so here we are on the Power Query editor. Now I want you to take notice of some things. In this place you have the valid records, error, the records that have errors in them, and then you have the empty records. So this column, there is no error, there is no empty. Here also there is no error, there is no empty. Same thing with city. But when you come to state, you discover that there are empty records. There are empty records, and the empty records are up to 12% of the entire records in that particular column. Now let's go to other columns. Let's see. Okay, here there's also an empty record, but it is less than 1% of the entire records in the column. And then in the product quantity, you can also see here that there are empty records. Can you see that? So, and the empty records are up to 60%. That is quite a huge number. So the first thing we want to do is we want to confirm that the data types of each column correspond to to what is expected, yes, of it. So in the status, you can see here it is ABC, meaning that the data type is correct. The city is also ABC, is correct. State ABC is correct. Country ABC is correct. Then what do we have? Classification ABC, which is correct. And then recalling firm ABC, which is correct. Address 1 is also voluntary mandated, is ABC. The same with initial firm notification, distribution pattern, product description, reason for recall. So all these are all string values. That is why you can see it is ABC. Recall initiation date. Center classification is also they are all date values, and then you can see that. So the 3 columns are dates. Then when you come to the product quantity, it is a numerical value, so that is why you see it is having 1.2 here. And then the product measurement is a string value, that is why it is ABC. So now that is the first thing you want to do. You want to first of all confirm the data types of the values in the column. Now the next thing you want to do is to delete columns that are not needed. Yes, the columns that are not needed in your visualization. So we'll start here. We don't need this. We'll highlight the ones we don't need. I'll hold my control and then my control key. I don't need the address. I highlight this. Highlight this and this. Remember, I hold down my control key. Okay, I think that's all. Now I will now come to the remove column. So I'll click here. Now you will notice that a new step has been added here, which is called removed columns. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to now work on the valid error and empty data set. Now in this particular, now you have 12% of the records in the state column is empty. So since it is empty, I don't have any choice than to remove it. Okay, and then now we also come, so other ones are correct, or they are good enough. Then we come to the product quantity. So you discover that 55% of the records here are empty, while 45% is valid. So this will not be good for me to remove the empty, because if I remove the empty, it is going to reduce the size of the data set to quite a very low amount. So because of that, I will have to replace the empty values. Now since it is numerical value in nature, I'm going to replace the null values with 0. So to do that, I'm going to come to transform and then replace value. I'll come here, you click on replace values. Now the value we want to replace is null value, and then we are replacing it with 0. Sorry, I did not highlight I'll come here and highlight. So I'll come over here again replace value. Okay, so we have okay. Okay, so you can see that it is now 0. So every other thing is I think there are no errors in this particular data set. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to make a conditional column that kind of shows the level of or should I say shows how hazardous the food product that is being recorded is. Based on my understanding of the data set, FDA as an agency classified the food into 3 categories: class I, class II, and class III, based on the degree of hazard the food contains. So the food is. So I'm going to create a conditional column that is built upon this classification column, so that it can be able to show the level of hazard that the food product contains. So to do that, I'm going to come to the add column tab, and then I'll click on conditional column. The column name will be food case level, and then the column to which I'm going to be conditioning the new column is classification. So I want to say if the value equals class I, then in the new column you put the hazard level to be mild. You add another clause, classification equals, if it is class II, then the hazard level should be dangerous, else it should be very dangerous. Okay, so now you click on OK. So you can see here in this applied step, the latest step that we did was to add conditional column. So any step that you make or any change that you make in the Power Query editor, it will be shown on the applied step, the particular step you took. So now this is the new column. You can see here that mild, very dangerous, and mild like that. So if you want to confirm, now you click on this record 1. So you can see that let's see. So this is class 1, and then the food hazard level is mild. So you can see that. So that is how it is on this Power Query editor. I think that is all we shall be doing in the Power Query editor. So since we have nothing else to do, simply close and apply. We are now on the report view of the Power BI desktop. There are 3 views in the Power BI desktop. Here this canvas, this page is called the report view. This particular view that I am in, hovering this mouse, is report view. Now when you come here, you have the data view. Okay, so these are all the columns of the data and their corresponding records, and then you come to the model view. Okay, so this is the model view where relationship is being created between two or more tables. Now we come to the report view. In the report view, before I get started, I want to check how many. Okay, before I get started, I want to create a measure. Yes, I want to create a measure. Now in order to create a measure, I will put the measure into a new table. To do that, I will come to the home tab, and then I'll click on enter data. So we'll create a new table. Now on the table name, I'll give this all measure. All measures. I'll load. Watch what happens in the field pane. Okay, so a new table has been created, which is called all measure. Now I'm going to create a new measure in this column, in this table, please. Now the measure I want to create is the measure that will count how many records of data do I have in the data set. The title of the measure would be total food cases, and then the function is count rows, cleaned. This is the set. I'll just click on it and then put the brackets. So I want the total food cases to have a comma. If it is in thousands, I want it to have a comma. Okay, I think that is the only measure we'll be doing. In order to see the total records of data that I have, I'll use the card visual. I'll click on the card. So the card visual takes only one parameter. Now I'll click on total food column and total food cases. I'll drag it and drop here. So there are 22,000 food cases. Yes, there are 22,000 records of food cases in this data. So that is quite a very huge amount of data set of records. So I'll have to take this out. Now we want to create a calendar table. Yes, that is the next table I will be creating, a calendar table. In order to create a calendar table, I'll come to the modeling tab here and I'll click on new table. So using a DAX function, I will assign a calendar so I want it to I'll use the calendar auto function. The calendar auto functions returns the calendar dates from the beginning of the, or should I say from the first record, the first date record in the data set down to the last date record. So calendar auto, I will not be putting in any parameter. I'll close this and I'll click enter. Okay, so the new calendar table has been created here. You can see that the table is different from the other, as in from other tables that we have there. Now we'll come to the data tab. So you can see here that the date column begins from 2008, which is the first date record that we have in the data set. So it starts from the first day of the first month of the first year, as in the first year's record in the data set, down till the last. So now we want to create an additional column here. So I want to bring out the months in the data set. This column, I'll name it months, and the function I'll be using is the format function. So I want to format the clean data set I want to format the dates. And then I want the format of the month to be in short form, so I'll use MMM, put in the parentheses and then enter. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to create a new column which will be the month number. Okay, so the month number, I'll put this as month number. So the importance of the month number is actually to sort the dates accordingly, from January to December accordingly. So I'll put calendar dates. So the next thing we want to do is to create the year column. I'll name the column year. Using the format function, we call out the calendar dates, and then we want our format to be YYY into 4 places so that it will be the full year. Okay, and since that is done, so the next thing we want to do is we want to sort the month column. We want to sort it by the month number. It becomes easier, you know, the months are arranged from January to February, March, you know, systematically like that. Okay, since that is done, now the next thing we want to do is to now okay, let's go to the model view. So in the model view, you can see here that there is a calendar view. We'll take it across this other side. We'll bring this way, and then we'll bring this way. Now we want to now create a relationship. So since we have the date here and then we also have date here, we'll pick this and then we'll put it here. We'll pick this too and we'll also put it here. We'll pick the report date, we'll also put it here. Since the relationship has been created, the next thing I want to do is I want to make the calendar dates. And the calendar table, I want to make it as the date table. I want to make it to be the date table. Now I'll come to table tools. We'll mark it as the date table. We'll select dates and then OK. So that means anytime we are referring to dates in this visualization, the system will automatically be using this particular calendar table. It will no longer use the report date, the classification date, and all that. So it will use the calendar dates and the calendar table instead for anything having to do with dates. The next thing I want to do is to start the visualization proper. So we have actually done all the modeling. It's just a brief modeling that we did here. So so then we can now start the visualization proper. Now to do that, I'll go to my report view here, and then we are now back to the canvas. This is the report canvas. Now the first thing I want to do is to work on this canvas. Yes, the canvas is very, very important. Now to do that, I'll go to the canvas background, then I'll check for the color, I want the transparency to be 95%. Okay, so since the background has been set, then the next thing I want to do is to pick a shape. I have to insert a shape. First of all, let me pick this. And the next shape I want to insert is a rounded shape. So I want the rotation to be 15. And then the fill color. The transparency should be 10% transparency. Okay, let's leave it at 80. Then I don't want yes, a border. Okay, I think this is fair enough. So then I Control C, Control V. Okay, Control V. Let me raise this a bit. So I move this rectangle shape up. Then the first thing I want to do is to give it a title. So in order to do that, I'll come here, I'll click on the text box. Now the title will be FDA report overview. I want the size to be 28. Okay, and then I want the font should be Arial black, and then I expand this. Okay, I want the indentation to be left, to be middle, or not middle, I want it to be left. Then we come to the effect. If there's a background, I don't want a background. The next is to drag and drop. Okay, so we are done with that. I think I will have to expand this a little bit. Okay, the next thing I want to do now is to get a slicer. I need a slicer for the month, so I'll come here and I'll take in the slicer. Here is the slicer. Now I'll select the month. Okay, and I'll reduce this a bit. Okay, now we'll come to the settings, the slicer settings. I don't need a visual, and then I want the orientation to be horizontal. Okay, I will expand this. Now the values, I want it, the font, I want it to be 11, and then the color should be black. Borders, there should be no borders. No, I want it to be white. And then the background should be okay. You can increase. Okay, it's better. I'll simply reduce this so as to get, so as to put the slider for the year. Then I simply create another slicer. In this case, I'll pass in the year. Okay, I'll reduce this. I need it to be a drop down. Then I reduce. Slicer settings, I want it to be, I want the value to be 13. Then I also want the color to be black. I don't want there to be a background. And then slicer header, I also want to increase it to 13. And then these two should be black. Okay, so I think this is fair enough. Let me reduce this a bit. Also this, increase it. So I move this to the left a bit, and then also move it up a bit. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is to copy this, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. I paste it here. I bring this here and I fix, I move it to this point. I want the rounded corners should be 10%. Then I want it to have a background, and then the color okay. Now the next thing I want to do, I want to work on this. So this particular one, I would give it the few colors should be let me choose black. Okay, %. Few color. It's not black. I don't want it to have a border. I think that's all. I also come to this. I don't want it to have a border. Okay, I think we are good. When I come here, I Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Okay, so I think we are good. So I'll put in a card visual, I'll click here. So I need the total food cases. Okay, I put it inside here. call out value. I need it. I don't want it to display the K, 22K. I don't want it to have a background, so I turn it off. And then I want it to have a title. What should be the name of the title? Total food cases. So I want the font should be Calibri. I go for Calibri. Now I want the alignment to be in the middle, in the center. And then I readjust this. I want the color value to be area black. Okay, we'll leave the size at 45, and then the color should be white. Okay, and then on this title, I want the title to color should be black, white too. Okay, I can now reduce this. Okay, since we are done with that, now the next thing is to start filling in the visuals here. I'm going to pick out the visuals at random, and I'll try to okay, so in this place I'll be making use of the funnel. And then the next thing I want to do is this place should have the donut charts. So simply drag and drop here. Okay, then the next I want to do is also a donut chart for this particular box. So I'll drag and I'll drop here. Now in this place I'll be using the stacked column chart. Okay, so since we have gotten all the background visuals that we want to do, now the next thing we want to do is to start filling their corresponding fields. So I want to start with the donut. Now in this case I want to see the product measurement against the product quantity. So you know, the product measurements such as cases, LBS, and all that. So I want to see how many product quantity, the sum of product quantity against the product measurement. So to do that, I'll come here, I'll click product measurements, I'll put it as the legend, then the product quantity as the value. Okay, so we can see here that so these are the product measurements, LBS, cases, pounds, and all that. So they have been distributed on this chart. Now let's set it up. First of all, I want to give it a title. I'll change the title name. Okay, then we want it to be, alignment should be middle, size we'll leave it as 14. Then the fonts, I want it to be Lucida San Unicode, and then I also want it to be bold. Okay, so you have the top 5 measurements by quantity. Now let's go to the effects. I don't want it to have a background. And if you can notice, you will see that there are quite a huge measurement category in this visual. So I will have to filter it. I will have to filter it to give me the top 5. So I'll come here, filter type should be top N. So I'll click here and then we have the top N. Okay, so I need the top 5. So by value, which value am I using to filter out the measurement? Of course, I am using the product quantity, so I'll drag and drop here, and then I'll apply filter. Okay, so you can see that now. Now let's come back to the visual. Now let's come to legend. Now where do I want the position of the legend to be? I want it to be on the bottom center. Okay, and also I don't want it to have a PS, so that is it. So I don't want it to have a title. I turned it off. Now the next thing we want to do is to change the color. Now in changing the color, I'll come to slices and then LBS. I want to give you this color 80 80 80. Cases. And then pound. And then units. Okay, so it has been achieved. Now let's go up. The detail label, I want to touch on it a bit. Let's assign the color value to be black. So we'll come here. Now in this particular donut chart also, we want to see the the food case level and the count of the number of firms that are distributed among the food case level. Yes, so I want to know the number of firms that were the number of firms whose food cases are whose food hazardous level are mild, those whose food hazardous level are dangerous and also very dangerous. So because of that will come here. So the legend here would be the food case hazard level, and then the value would be recalling firm. So out of this total food, I want to know how many of them are how many of those cases are mild in terms of food hazards, and those that are also dangerous. Okay, so here we have it. Now I want the changes I made here to be what is used in this particular visual. So in order to do that, I'll come to the home tab, and then I will click on this visual. I'll click on the format painter over here on the home tab, and when I click there, it turns the cursor turns to a brush like image. Okay, you can see that, and then I double click. Can you see that? So that is what it is. So we'll make some little adjustments in the title. So I want the title should be food case level. Or food case hazard level. Okay, then we'll make some adjustment to the color. And for the slicer, I want to use this. Then for mine, I want to use this. So there we have it, and then we'll come over to the funnel. Now in the funnel, I want to check the initial frame notification against the food case level. So meaning that I want to know the firms that were notified, you know, either based through any means, how many of those cases it should be classified based on the food case level. Now to get a picture of this, let's pick the initial frame notification would be the category. Okay, instead I'll use the total food cases. So you can see that, very beautiful. And I'll also format the painter. I'll click here on the home tab. I'll click on format painter, and then I'll double click. Okay, then I'll make little adjustments here. First of all, we don't need this. Okay, and then secondly, I want to work on the title. I need this to be initial. Okay, so every other thing is it's okay. Now we'll come to the color. So show all, because I want to work on each of the tabs, each of the bars, please. And for two or more of the following, I want to use this color. For letter, I want to use for telephone, I want to use I'll drag this down. Email, order, and press release. Now come to order. Okay, so that's all there is for this particular. Now you observe that it is giving the value is given in shortened form, which is 8K, but as I hover around the bar, you will discover that it is 8,484 food cases, 8,484 food firms that were notified using 2 or more of other methods of notification. And then so that is it. I can choose to make this to be the long form, but because when you are visualizing using Power BI, you try to make sure that your work is not loaded, or should I say is not too cumbersome. So you try to make it as simple as it can be. So now we'll come to this place where we have the clustered bar charts. Okay, this is the stacked column chart, please. Now in the stacked column chart, I want to visualize the number of recalling firm in each state. So the x-axis here would be the states. This will be the recalling firm here. Okay, so we can see here from this data okay, so let's quickly work on this. First of all, I don't need the y-axis. But let me turn off the title first, then I turn off the y-axis. Okay, now in turning it off, I have to turn on the data label. And the next thing I want to do is the title. So I want to see I'll call the states. Now before I give you the title, I'm supposed to do something. Now in this particular visual, apart from seeing so we can see here that California, Texas, you know, and the rest, they have quite a huge number of recalling firms. But then I want to also find out food case level based on the based on the hazard level of their food products. So in doing that, I'm going to use the food case level column here. I'll drag it and I'll drop it on the legend. Okay, so you can see that it has changed. Now I will now format it properly. Now in the formatting, first of all, I want to let me highlight this, and then I'll use the format painter and I'll double click. Okay, I'll do some touches. So now let me see. Okay, every other let me come to the visual. Data label, I will turn on the data label. Okay, so if you notice, you discover that the colors have changed. Yes, so the food products that are dangerous are given the light a bit light dark color, and then the mild is having this color, and very dangerous is having the other color. Now the data label, okay, but before we do the data label, I have to turn off the title of the x-axis. So I'll turn the title off. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I want to filter this particular data to give us the top 10 states, by the recalling firm. So we can see here that California, Texas, they have the highest recalling firm. So I'm going to use the states, and then this will be top N. Top 10 states. So but before we continue, if you check, you discover that there are quite a lot of states. You can see, so there are quite a lot. So when working with data of this size, or should I say category of this amount, the best way to approach it is to either select the top 5 or the top 10. So by value, so what are we going to be using to calculate the top 10? we want to use the recalling frame, the number of recalling frame in each state. So I'll drag this and I'll drop here. So I'll make this to be the counts. And then I'll apply filter. Okay, so it has given us the, so can you see that? Now you can also see that data labels has now shown. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to change the color of the data label, to white, so that it can be seen. So this is the value. I'll close this. So this is data label. So we'll come to the value. I'll simply reset it to default. Then let me see. Oh, okay, that's good. Now the next thing I want to do is the legend. I want to put it at the top left. Okay, and then the color for the y-axis, the x-axis, the color, I want to make it very dark. Okay, so I guess we are done with this particular visual. Now we want to go into the clustered bar chart. Now in the cluster bar chart, I want to see the food case level by the city. The food case level by the city. So I'll pick the city and then I'll put it as the y-axis. And then I'll pick the food case level. Okay, so here we have it. Now what we are seeing here is the spread of the food case level by the city. So we can see here that the food case level in Chicago is the highest, which is 654, and then you have the next one, which is from Milwaukee, which is 637. Now before we go any further, I want to filter this to give us the top 5. So in filtering, I'll filter it on the city. This will be the top N. Majorly this particular visual, I decided to build it around the food case level. I was talking about the level of hazard that the food products they have. So we need the top 5, and then we are going to be using the food case level to filter it. I need the counts. Then I apply filter. Okay, so there we have it. in order to make 1 2 3 4 5, okay, so there are 5 unique colors here. So I'll pick this and then I'll format the painter. I'll click on format painter, and then I double click here. Okay, we'll do some little change on the data. So come here. Now we don't need the y-axis. Now the y-axis is this axis here. This is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. So we don't need the y-axis, but before I close it, before I turn it off, I have to turn off the title first. Okay, it is actually x-axis we don't need, so I'll turn it off, the title, and then I'll turn off the x-axis. Now because I've turned off the x-axis, that means I'm going to turn on the label. So anytime you turn off any particular axis, always remember to turn on the label. It's very, very important. Now I want to give it a new title, which is Top 5 Cities by Food Cases. Okay, Top 5 Cities by Food Cases. The next thing I want to do, I want to customize the, let's come to the y-axis. The values are quite small, so I'll increase the values there, and the colors to be black. Okay, and then I'll change the data label, the color to also be black, and then increase the font size. I'll make this 10. Okay. Now come to the coloring of the bar. I'll take this, I'll take this, and then okay. Okay, I have to go over the coloring again. Sorry, please. Let me get this for Chicago. Then for Troy, I'll get this. Okay, I think this is fair enough. So that is the visualizations that we can do in this particular using this particular data set. So the last but not the least is to bring in the text box. We want to write our insights. What is an insight that I could derive from this particular visualization. Now to do that, I will take a text box, okay. Now I want to know, in terms of the firm, which firm has how do I put it, which firm has the highest food cases, and then where is the firm located, which city, and also which state. So you can see, so this is an insight. Now the first thing I want to do is, just a second please, let me okay, so to do that, let me use a column start chart. You can use either a bar chart or a column chart for it. So but now I want to use a column chart. So the first axis, on the x-axis, which is the horizontal axis, I need the recalling firm. Okay, and then I need the total food cases on the y-axis. Okay, so now when we over here, we can see here that Garden Fresh Food Incorporated is the food firm or the recalling firm that has the highest food case. Now in order to see specifically the highest, when you over it, let's see. Okay, so the total food cases for Garden Fresh Food Incorporated is 633. So we simply come here. So the name again is Garden Fresh Food Incorporated. So we say Garden Fresh Foods Incorporated, located in, can you see that, located in. So to find the location where the firm is located, we simply come here, specifically the city. and then I want to use the city as a legend. Okay, so it has been changed to this, but it still does not give us what we need. So I'm going to have to take away the city. Okay, and then the food, I'll take away the food firm. Instead, I'll use the city as the x-axis. And then I'll use the calling firm as the legend. Okay, so this is what it's giving us. Now I have to filter it to give us at least the top 5. So I'll filter it by city. We need the top 5, and then by what am I filtering it? I want to filter it by the recalling firm, because we are looking out for that which contains fresh foods. Okay, so we can see it has been arranged. Now to find out where, I have to increase this a bit. So now let's start. So this is Chicago as a city. So we'll check it if okay, so this is a Kraft Heinz Food Company, Golden Standard Baking Industry Incorporated, Chicago Sweet Connections. Okay, so we are looking for Garden Fresh Food City. So it appears not to be in Chicago. So now let's come to Milwaukee. What do we have here? Oh, okay, you can see it. So Garden Fresh Incorporated, Foods Incorporated, you can see that it is still 633. So we'll continue. Garden Fresh Food Incorporated, located in Milwaukee. So which state is it located in order to know, to find out the state? We'll click on this bar column, and then we'll come to the visual. Now we'll replace the city with the states. So I'll drag the states and I'll drop here. Okay, so let's see. This is IL. I think it should be Illinois. So this okay, Chicago Sweet Connection. This has to do with Chicago. Let's come to WI. Okay, you can see that Garden Fresh Incorporated. So Milwaukee in WI. So you can see, so this is how you generate insights. Okay, so we say is the highest recalling okay, I say is the recalling firm with the highest record food products. Its record 633 products whose hazardous level now I want to find out the hazardous level of this particular food products that Garden Fresh Food Incorporated are recalling. So in order to do that, I'll come again here and in place of the okay, so I will have to rearrange this will be, I'll remove the states, then I'll replace it with recalling firm on the x-axis. Okay, so you can see that so Garden Fresh is the highest. Now on the legend I'll use the food case level. I'll drag and drop. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so you can see here that whose their hazardous level is mild. It is mild. So 609 is mild, and then 24 is dangerous. So we recall 633 products whose hazardous level. Now, 633 products whose. Okay, so I want to get the percentage instead. So in order to get the percentage instead, I'll drag down to the value. Okay, so it appears there is no percentage for the bar column. Okay, there are no percentage. So I guess majority of them are married. So we'll say it records 633 products whose majority hazardous level are mild. So now I want to now edit this. Take this as Lucida Sans. Okay, and then let's say 24. The 24 is quite 20, 18. Okay, so I want to remove the background, and then the color should be white. Should be in the middle. Now I want to add up so this, I prefer the company name should be in area black, and then the place where it is located should also be area black. This I prefer it to be Time New Roman, and then it should be bold. Okay, record food product, it records 600, and so I need this to be bold also. Apart from that, it should be underlined. Oh, okay. And then the mild, Time New Roman. And then it should be bold. Okay, so these to 20. Let me increase the food company to 20. Let me also increase the font size here to 20. Yes, also this to 20. Okay, I guess we are now good to go. So there we have it. When we click on the month of February, these are the insights, or these are the visuals from the month of February. Now I close this. Then I'll save. I'll call this FDA reports 2. Save. Then the next thing I want to do is to make it a PDF. File. I want to export it. Export to PDF. Okay, here we have our report in PDF format. So with this I can share it online, and everybody can see how it is. So I want to actually at this junction thank every one of you for sticking around till this point. I really appreciate you, and I also want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed this video, please do well to like it and subscribe, so that as I make more videos you'll be in tune to get it. I will be posting the data set that I used for this project, and I'll also be pasting the link to the Google Drive where I used to host this PDF, so that you can view it. Thank you very much. Until I see you next time, do have a blessed time, and stay safe. Bye.